everyone is a genius in their own way. We are all endowed with our individual unique talents, abilities and skills. But if you measure a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it is stupid. So let us focus on running our own race. True success is about evolving to become the best version of ourselves. Yet ever so often, we shift our focus from becoming good to being called good by others. Despite its futility, we engage in comparisons, and this then becomes our personal measure for success. Unfortunately, it also becomes the reason for our unhappiness, because the grass always seems greener on the other side of the fence. One pilot was allotted the route between Delhi and Vizag for his flights. Every time his plane went over the forests of Jharkhand, he looked with great affection at a particular spot. His co-pilot asked him what he used to search there. He responded, many years ago, he grew up in the little town of Biramitrapur in the forest of Jharkhand, where his father owned a farm in the countryside. But there he was discontented. When planes would fly above, he would think if he could become a pilot one day, he would then enjoy the huge skies. But now he felt the reverse. What kind of a mobile, unstable life this was. He missed his days with nature on the farm. That is how it is with life. We compare and become unhappy without knowing the facts. Ramesh and Dinesh were classmates who met 10 years later in the parking lot of a marketplace. After chit-chatting with each other, they got into their respective cars, and Ramesh was shocked to see Dinesh get into a limousine. It sparked jealousy and envy in him. But he did not know. The limousine did not belong to Dinesh, but to his boss, who had given it to him to run an errand and get it repaired in the garage. Beena and her husband came to meet Meena. When they arrived, Beena's husband got out of the car, went around and opened the door for her. Seeing that, Meena turned green with envy. What a romantic husband Beena has got, which I have not. She did not know that the latch of the door was defective from inside, and it necessitated opening it from the outside. The Sharmas were a couple who had been married for 10 years but had no progeny. They went to meet the Pandes, who had 3 children, and the Sharmas saw them and felt so discontented. They did not know that one of the children had sickle disease and was destined to die. The other 2 had been adopted. In all these cases, the comparisons were based on incomplete facts. And yet, it is our nature to compare. Research has shown that a full 10% of our thoughts through the day are about comparisons. Someone got a promotion that we did not. Someone has a bigger car than ours. Someone has a spouse who's more compatible than ours. And this kind of comparison often leads to a phenomenon called FOMO. FOMO is an acronym for fear of missing out. It is a syndrome where we feel there's something fundamentally important in life which others have that we are missing out on. This FOMO phenomenon has become commonplace today because of the combined forces of technology and social media. People are putting out the best moments of their life on their social media, and we are comparing them with the regular moments of our life. The consequence is a literal FOMO pandemic. Research has shown that youngsters see the Facebook and Insta profiles of others and feel that they are not happy as their friends and peers. This leads to jealousy, which then exacerbates to depression. A full 50% of girls between the age of 18 and 24 confess to feeling extreme pressure in presenting the best version of themselves on their Instagram pages. But as the former President of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt, said, comparison is the thief of joy. Sri Krishna informed us in the Bhagavad Gita to avoid comparisons and instead focus on running our own race. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushthitat swadharme nidhanam shreyaha paradharmo bhayavaha. He says, Arjun, it is better to do your own dharma imperfectly than to strive to do another's dharma perfectly. We are all endowed with our individual unique talents, abilities and skills. So let us focus on running our own race. There was a sports day in a school and it was compulsory for all children to participate. Their parents were also encouraged to come and see. A 5-year-old girl ran the race of her class where they had to go a distance, touch a point and then return. The parents were cheering on. This particular girl came 20th out of a group of 50 children. The father said, "Well done, my child, you have won. Come on, let's go and have an ice cream." The girl said, "Father, I came 20th. The father said, "Absolutely not. You came first amongst 31 children. She said, "How?" He said, "There were 30 children behind you." "Yes, so you were the first amongst 31. She said, "But what about the 19 ahead of me?" The father said, "This time they were not competing with you because they had practiced more than you. Next time you practice harder and then you'll be the first amongst 41 children. And then one day you'll be the first in the entire class." The child said, "Papa, I'll practice hard and become first in the very next race itself." Papa said, "That may not be practicable because you will need to strengthen your legs, which will take some amount of time." So that is the sagacity in running our own race. Albert Einstein said, "Everyone is a genius in their own way." But if you measure a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it is stupid. Once a monkey was sitting on a tree when a fish tried to taunt it and said, "The water of this river is so warm and enjoyable." The monkey was smart and said, "I am getting a tremendous view from here. Come and take a look." Now it was the poor fish's turn to feel envious because it did not know how to climb trees. Besides, it could not leave the water. However, a few days later, the monkey fell into the river, and because it could not swim, it died. That was when the fish felt it was so blessed because it had the ability to swim. Now, if the fish had kept comparing with the monkey and thinking about what it could not do, imagine how unhappy it would have been. Sometimes comparisons can work to our advantage. When we see the good in others, celebrate the success, feel joyous about the graces of God that have manifested in those people, we will then remember the abundance of the universe and be inspired to emulate their feats. Then, without a tinge of jealousy, we will motivate ourselves to become better. So when you see the good in others, remember, if you do compare, do so only to inspire yourself. And apart from that, let contentment be your real wealth.